Yo, Tube, what's good? It's your boy. Today's video, I'm gonna go over a comp that I've been seeing a lot recently in 2v2, and that's Feral Healer. Most commonly, it's played with Disc or Holy Priest, so this one will be with Disc Priest, because that's what I've been seeing more of recently. So the format of the video will just be a voiceover as I watch over and explain the game, and then I'm gonna replay it in full speed at the end, so you can watch the full-length game with all the new knowledge that you've learned from the video, so I hope you enjoy. So first, before I really get into the script of how to win, first I want to go over what I mean by the script. So the script is basically just, in an ideal world, if you follow this exact blueprint, this is how you're going to win the game. And usually this script involves, doing this exact sequence of CC, and popping these offensive cooldowns to force this guy's trinket, and then next go using different stuff to force the other guy's trinket, and then having your kill window. Like for example, one thing would be, it's very scripted for healers to trinket the blind because it lines up perfectly. Blind is a 2-minute cooldown, trinket is a 2-minute cooldown. So basically the script that that we want to go by is we obviously have our first go, our opener. Ideally we force a trinket, right? And the second go, ideally we force the other trinket, and then that leaves the third go where they both have no trinkets, and that's usually the kill window, right? So really the script for this exact gameplay, which makes it a little difficult actually for this comp for a couple of reasons. For one, the priest actually has pain suppression, which you can use in a stun, and the feral is in stealth actually, so it's not the easiest thing in the world to get a good opener against this, right? So that's exactly why that this comp is not like maybe the easiest comp to beat as Rogue Mage. So the priest is going to be able to use PS on the first go to hold his trinket, which is fine, right? That's completely fine. So I can start the clip here, and we can see this is going to be kind of how we do our opener here. We're going to go for a sap. So as you can see there, he gets sapped, and we GPI. So usually what's going to happen here is the feral is going to interrupt this GPI. He's either going to stun you or just kick it. If he doesn't do it, then it's fine because you get PS. Like the GPI is going to be 35% of this guy's HP, right? So he's going to have to either trinket or PS to be able to survive. If the feral just sits in stealth, then Explicit can just stun the healer, and then we'll get PS, and that's kind of like what we are scripted to get in the opener, right? So I'll just keep playing it. Ideally, this is the first go. You want to kind of, I'll back it up just a second. You want to GPI kind of early in the sap, right? So that when the feral opens you, he has time to cheap shot the feral. As you can see, I still have 3 seconds left, or we still have 2 seconds left, sorry, on the sap. Explicit is able to stun this guy and then still get to the priest while he's in a sap, so he can't like pre-dome or something, or just do whatever to interrupt our go. So you can see I land the Ring of Frost, and then we are cheaping this guy. And what you really have to do here is you have to bust this. This is going to ensure that you get pain suppression. Ideally, your rogue holds his flag, because bust should be enough to force PS, and that's all you can really get in the opener against this. So, we can just continue going here, see what happens. So I bust, we get PS, right? So as soon as we do this, we know we're not killing through. I living bomb here on the feral, because if I don't, he'll just come out of the Ring of Frost, and he will just re-stealth and rake my rogue, or rake me. Essentially just giving them a free stun, which we don't want. So I keep the rogue, and now what I'm basically trying to do is position myself to where I'm near a pillar. Explicit can step me if he wants. The feral is his best kill target is the rogue, so he's gonna try to go Explicit here. He steps me. I was actually not even on the pillar enough. I should have been more on the pillar. What I mean by this here, I'll back it up, is that if I was, let's say, right here, right? He could run around here, step me, and then immediately line of sight right after that, right? Just go over here in line, which would stop the Feral from being able to leap him, and that gives more time for our DRs to fall, which basically means that the longer we can live during these DRs, the better. Because you can see Explicit still hasn't used anything, right? He has all his defensive cooldowns. So yeah, let's keep playing the video. So basically, this is how I'm gonna explain real quick on how we set up every go after the opener. So I forgot to mention this in the beginning of the video, but Explicit is actually running Deeper Stratagem. You take this over Marked for Death, and what it basically does is it gives you 6 combo points, which allows you to use Kidney Shot, and the Kidney Shot's gonna last for 7 seconds. So combat in this game takes 7 seconds to drop, so you can, most of the time, it's pretty reliable, but sometimes things don't work out, you know, random stuff keeps them in combat or whatnot, but most of the time what you want to do is you want to put kidneys on the Feral, and you want to sheep the priest here. So I'll just let it play out so that you can better understand what I mean here. So as you can see, we have a full poly on the priest. This is a pre-poly, right? So this is setting him up for the go, because remember, we want to kill the priest. He has no PS here, so it's going to be someone's trinket to be able to live this go, and that's really what we want to do, right? We want to force the trinkets so that we can stay on script. We can stay getting cooldowns every single go, right? Okay, so this is the part I wanted to explain. I'll back it up just a second. I just wanted you guys to be able to watch that for yourself before I explained it. So, the poly is on the priest, and then I cast a repoly, right? And then what I'm going to start doing here is close to when Explicit saps this guy, I'm going to start channeling my G-Pi here. So this is always going to make sure that you have damage for the go. This is important into this matchup alone, because this is how you're going to consistently have the damage to be able to force trinkets. So we can see what's going to happen here. He saps the Feral. I get the G-Pi. I go for the Mally too. I probably didn't even need to Mally this, right? Because he was using Flag, and I had G-Pi. So that was actually a mistake on my end. I should have noticed that he was going to use Flag here. We were playing no voice, so it's fine. But you can see from this go, we get Feral's Trinket, right? So there's a pretty low chance that we actually kill through this. For one, he interrupted my Mally. He's gonna go interrupt whatever Explicit's doing right now, which is his Flag go. So we can just keep playing the video here and see what happens. So something to note, this is a Convoke Feral. Most of them are gonna play Necrolord. It doesn't really change a lot for me being able to like teach you guys educationally, so that's why I didn't really care that he was Convoke. If he's Necro, the only thing that really changes is maybe if he presses Adaptive Swarm before one of the kidneys, his Kevin's Oozling might keep him in combat for one of the saps, in which case you always have Ring if that happens. So I just wanted to point that out, that is something to look out for. But yeah, we're gonna keep playing the video here. So remember, we're in this phase where we just forced a trinket. They're all on DRs. So really, Explicit's kind of scared here, because for one, he doesn't have Vanish. He's off stun DR. And, you know, obviously this is a point in the game where he could die, so we need to survive another go, right? So I'm trying to peel for Explicit. I'm trying to position myself. He blinds Feral, which is good, right? So this basically acts as the kidney. So something with Deeper Stratagem is you're not always going to have 6 combo points, right? So for this go, you know, blind in this matchup, let's say you're Thought Stolen, right? And you can't exactly get this guy in a pre-DB sheep or DB ring or whatever. You can always just blind this guy too for setup, and then kidney sap this guy. So he opts to just blind, which is fine because we're going to sap off this, right? So now, since I see this, I know that I have basically 7 seconds to get my DB sheep on this guy. So I just cast it in his face because he has mind games on me. He doesn't death it. He could death it. What I should have done just to be safe is just DB poly'd him, right? But I kind of had a read on the situation that he wasn't gonna death. So again, I re-poly and start my G-Pi as he saps. This is going to be Priest Trinket. Nice. So there's Priest Trinket. I should have kept Pharaoh here with Living Bomb, and you'll see why. See, he gets the free rakes done. Now Explicit needs to live one more go. He's at the other pillar. He's in stealth. So now I'm just trying to line. One thing that I'm always looking at with Ferals here is Feral Frenzy. So you can see he has all his bleeds on me. So I alter time instead of using barriers, because this is going to shred right through the barriers, right? I might as well just save the barriers and line the priest and pop altar. See how fast my HP is getting ticked down? That would just be a waste of my barriers, right? So now I go back and all his bleeds are basically off, right? This is the big one, right? Feral Frenzy. That's the thing you really want to look out for. So what I'm looking at here is the DRs are up, and there's something that I haven't mentioned yet, but I do want to keep this in mind, right? So Explicit's in stealth, right? But I'm not sure if he has 6 combo points. So you can see he actually shadow steps there, or shadow strikes, sorry, which tells me immediately he doesn't have combo points. So at this point I know I need to wait for him to build up some combo points. You can see him. I saw he did a shadow strike and a fan of knives, so I knew at that point he probably had enough. So I DB only the priest, and I cast a poly here. This is my pre-poly, waiting for the sap now. I go ahead and start channeling the G-Pi. And then the bust. They have no trinkets, no PS, and they go down. So it should just take you 1 PS go, 1 feral trinket go, 1 priest trinket go, and then you have your kill go, right? So against this particular matchup, it should be 4 goes. Usually against stuff, you can most of the time get it in 3 goes. Like for example, let's say Warrior R Druid, right? That's a 3-go game. The first go you can get the Warrior's Trinket with a bomb. Second go you get Druid's Trinket with a blind. And then third go they each have no trinkets. All you need is the damage to kill in that third window. So against this particular matchup, like I said, I'm running G-Pi instead of Flame Cannon, and Explicit is running Deeper Stratagem instead of Mark for Death. So I hope I explained this well. I hope you guys understand the concept of, you know, the script and kind of sticking towards the script. What I can do as you know, the person making the video and as the teacher is I can tell you guys the script, right? I can tell you the blueprint of how you can win this matchup, but it's up to you guys individually for if something, you know, goes wrong, or let's say something you know, goes wrong and you have to adapt on the fly. Those are things that I can't exactly teach you. That's going to be on you to put in the reps, to keep playing the game, keep queuing up twos, fighting the same comps, fighting different people, and learning how to adapt to situations when they go wrong. This exact game was a very, very perfect game. It went exactly according to the plan. It's not always going to be like that though. We had a game actually right after this versus, I think it was the same team, where we won again, but it was a lot sloppier, right? But we were still able to win because we know our win condition and we know how to get there. So like I said, it may not always be perfect, right? But it's up to you guys to understand that, okay, if something goes wrong, right, but still someone trinkets, it's fine, right? You're still, that's all you were gonna get in that go anyways, right? So it's still a successful go, even though something may have went wrong. Just looking at it like that instead of like, oh, okay, the go didn't go perfect, well, that sucks. Oh, but we still got trinkets, so it's fine, right? Or, oh, we still got PS. So anyways, I hope you guys learned something from the video. I'm gonna let the original clip play out now, and yeah, like I said, I hope you learned, and have a good day.